This is a pretty mean new moon. It's great for working really fucking hard at something, doing anything around diet, exercise, working out where it needs a lot of motivation and intensity. But this could also get really mean against others, so preferably you don't make this goal about anyone besides yourself in a way that is kind. If you're excited to learn about what we can expect for this new moon in Scorpio, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. If you're new here, hi, I'm Maren. I make music, I do astrology, and if you want to learn about either of those things, everything is in the description. I offer courses, readings privately one-on-one with me to answer your chart questions, and like stream my music and stuff. First, we're going to get into explaining the vibe for this new moon, and then we will get into what to expect for the tarot, since I have my new tarot deck here. So this new moon is happening on November 13th at 1:27 a.m. Pacific. You will notice that in other videos I say the 12th because if you're staying up on the 12th is when you would experience it, so it's kind of what I was just colloquially saying, but technically it is on November 13th at 1:27 a.m. Pacific. The sun and the moon will be at 20 degrees of Scorpio. So during a new moon, the sun and the moon are together. It's dark, it is the beginning of the lunar cycle, and that's why these relate to new beginnings, whereas every full moon relates to an ending or a letting go. This area of Scorpio, this decan of Scorpio, has to do with the Seven of Cups tarot card, which is known as the Lord of Delusion or Debauchery. This decan and this card are ruled by Venus, so there's this, even though it's Scorpio, there's this depth and intensity and darkness, but Venus adds this enjoyment or this pleasurable aspect to it. This card and this part of Scorpio are usually describing an environment where the person is not in touch with reality. It's not showing that this goal or this fear is really real, and therefore I think that with this new moon being conjunct Mars, which is the planet of aggression, we might be fighting an imaginary fight. So it's not very clear who or what we are fighting necessarily. We might just be riled up and very angry, but this isn't showing that this is a good target. And if we're motivated, hopefully it's motivated to a state of being or a state of empowerment and growing rather than doing one specific task, especially if it's about taking someone else down in any certain way. So as I mentioned, this new moon is in Scorpio, and Scorpio is the fixed water sign. It is the middle of the season, so it's stubborn, it's determined, it's fierce, and water shows emotions. So if there's ever a still waters run deep energy, it's gonna be Scorpio. They hold on to shit. Vendettas are like their life requirement, and they do not let go easily. So having a new moon in Scorpio conjunct Mars, which is the ruler of Scorpio, doubles down on this scorpionic intensity or obsession with getting something done, particularly with domination or fighting. So if there's going to be a sign for Mars to be on a new moon, it's actually going to be very good that it's in Scorpio, because whenever planets are in their home sign, it shows comfort or being at good use and having skills that turn out happening very well. So I do like that it's in Scorpio because it can show that emotionally we're very dedicated, and I do really like that. But also there's the risk in Scorpio of fighting a fight for just the reason of getting revenge or being obsessive. To add to the extremes of this new moon, it is less than 1 degree away from an opposition to Uranus. So when planets are in an opposition, it shows extremes and a lot of fighting. It is the most challenging aspect. And Uranus is the planet of chaos, instability, or disruption. So to say the least, I know I have a resting bitch face, so I don't really emote, but this is insane. This is insane. Having a new moon opposite Uranus, on Mars opposite Uranus is is there gonna be some major extreme water bound explosion? Frankly, I would not be surprised whatsoever if there was an insane maritime or water military or water natural disaster, because it's Scorpio but Mars opposite Uranus. This just screams water-based issue or natural disaster or war event kind of thing. So in your own chart, frankly, this does lean challenging. It's Mars opposite Uranus, it's not Venus. So I would say be open to things getting much more out of control and crazy than you expect. However, if you're doing something like working out or improving your diet, maybe it ends up being that the positive way of this could be that you're working out so hard, you pass out, or you just hit failure. You hit failure because we don't want to pass out, but you're wow, I did that. That's crazy. That's insane. So that might be the better manifestation of it. The interesting thing to add to that is that the new moon is conjunct Ceres. Ceres, C-E-R-E-S, is an asteroid of nourishment or food. So I hope that this is showing a fuck ton of people are going to get on a healthy diet or healthy lifestyle, because it is a little weird for a new moon conjunct Ceres. what I'm thinking is that in the world, there could be a major water-based food-related issue that ends up being extremely chaotic. Like something contaminates water and that fucks shit up. Something contaminates, like water-based insane natural disaster that has to do with food and nourishment. How do I surmise this? Agricultural insane issue having to do with water. There's food, nourishment, water, insanity going on. So in your own life, I think hopefully you're starting something with nourishment or food or improving that. But I mean, there is an out of sign opposition to Jupiter. It's helpful, it's not gonna save it. This is net challenging and it's net insane. There's a trine to Neptune, which shows getting along like spiritually, you're having a spiritual warrior energy, but also Mercury is in Sagittarius squaring Saturn. So Mercury in Sag loves to talk shit up, talk a big game, talk about shit no one even understands. And squaring Saturn shows that there's pushback or an inability to express ourselves because of censorship or some kind of insecurity. So I think that we're making some big claims. We're like, I'm gonna fight you, bro. Like, I'm a player, like that kind of thing. I'm too white, I can't do that. But there's some type of pushback or insecurity or difficulty in actually communicating with that. Thankfully, Venus is at home in Libra, and that can show that there's at least a silver lining with like some people around us. The relationships are not bad. I'm petting Dobby. Dobby is a Taurus, so this will be, we don't know his rising sign. Hello, Dobby. Hello, baby. But I do think that the best use of this would be to get fired up around something athletic, not something that is going to be mean towards others or yourself. If you have any comments or any thoughts down below about this new moon, do let me know. I'm very interested to see what you all think about this. And now we're gonna get into my brand new Bianco Nero Tarot deck. I got this for my birthday. It's on the packaging. Plastic. Pull a random card. Pulled the Two of Swords. I know this card very well because my moon is in the first decan of Libra, which is the Two of Swords decan. And it shows being bound by options and not feeling as if there's a way out. We feel like our hands are tied, we're kind of mentally going through it quite a bit and are quite stressed out by the decision-making process. So it might be that we are very stressed around what it could be that we're deciding to embark upon, and it's like, do I stay or should I go? Do I fight this bitch or do I become a coward? So now I'm going to run through what this means for all the rising signs. This is also described in your rising sign forecast for November, which you can find on my channel. I make videos for every sign for the month if you do want to catch the full month for you. But starting off with Aries rising, this is in your 8th house of finances or the occult or death. So I'm going to get it out of the way. It's going to be really rare that this happens, but it could be a sudden death. It could also be that you are suddenly having some financial new beginning that's challenging, like you started investment, but it demands a lot from you. Or that you start a witchcraft or occult practice and there's something challenging about it. If you're a Taurus rising, it's in your 7th house of committed relationships or partnerships. Looks like there could be some fighting with an agreement with a partner. If you're a Gemini rising, it's in your 6th house of physical health or coworkers. You guys could definitely be starting something diet related. That is a big diet exercise. You guys most definitely could be. Or with coworkers, something with that. If you are a Cancer rising, this is going to be in your 5th house of dating or creativity. So you could be starting something challenging with a romantic partner or creatively. If you are a Leo rising, it's in your 4th house of home or family. Could be property related, something that you're starting like home renovations or buying a house. Could also be something you're moving in with family and there's some effort required. If you are a Virgo rising, this is in your 3rd house of communication and routine. You're probably getting on top of something with routine, with sleep, with setting a schedule, and it's requiring quite a bit of effort. If you're a Libra rising, it's in your 2nd house of income or spending, so you could be starting a budget or something that requires restraint and effort. If you're a Scorpio rising, it's in your 1st house of self. Looks like you're letting some people hear it. You're acting in a way that like sets the tone, is quite aggressive. You're letting some things be heard. You're being a batshit bitch. If you were Sagittarius rising, it's in your 12th house of mental health or inner spirituality. You could be deciding to go sober or give up something, and that's quite challenging, or get on a meditation kick and having to dedicate yourself to that. If you're a Capricorn rising like me, this is in our 11th house of networking or friends. So you might be starting a new campaign or contract with a large group of people. I know for me, this could deal, for example, if I'm signing a contract to do a PR or a marketing thing, or that I'm joining forces with someone, or like management or something like that I'm joining, like it could be related to that. but it also could be a friend group kind of thing. If you are a Aquarius rising, it'll be in your 10th house of career, so it looks like a new start that requires effort at work. And if you are a Pisces rising, this will be in your 9th house of foreign travel or education. So you could very well be starting a degree or starting to study something and it requires a lot of effort, or travel plans are really requiring a lot of work. So if you enjoyed this, do leave me a comment down below. I would lift my hands up, but Dobby's on my lap right now. Actually, I'll do the thing. Hope that you enjoy this. Let me know how you're feeling about this new moon, and I'll see you in the next one.